This is The Scoop for Monday.
I'm Sean Kinane with the WMNF News headlines. Duke Energy Florida wants to exclude a consumer group from weighing in on how the company will distribute the costs of increased electricity demand from data centers. The Tampa Bay Times reports that on Thursday, Duke argued in filings to state utility regulators that Florida Rising should not be allowed to participate in the data center hearings. Florida Rising fights for lower electric bills for residents. The hearings are a result of a law passed this year, which imposed the state's first regulations on data centers. It says that electric utilities cannot hand the costs caused by data centers on to regular consumers. Teens in the Pinellas Juvenile Justice Center could soon get a chance to read more books. WMNF's Juanita Hurtado-Huerfano reports that as part of a program to integrate art into these kids' routines, Nomad Studio is partnering with Tombolo Books to get more books to incarcerated teenagers.
Misha is a former participant in the program. She was 16 when she walked into her first art class.
I didn't think it would make as much of an impact as it did. And honestly, I could say that they're such important people in my life. They really are. I see them as family.
Misha says the program was in stark contrast with her environment within the center.
There's just a metal bed, and then there's a mat on top of it, and a little window, but you can't even really see anything out the window either. And then the sink and the mirror. So it's not a whole lot. And then sometimes the staff, and then also just I feel when you're a kid and you're going through that, you're already irritated, so you tend to take it out on your peers or cause problems. So in order to go to the art program, you had to be good during the week and everything. You had to earn that.
Misha is now a 21-year-old poet in St. Pete. She says Nomad Studios library within the center helped her hone her skills and reintegrate after she was released.
And I feel I learned so much on writing just from reading that I learned how to form certain sentences, or I would look at these authors and I would want to be like them and how they wrote so good. So I would use that as an example and try to write really elaborate stuff.
As part of the program, kids can choose to keep the books they love to take with them once they are released. Tombolo Books is posting Nomad's book requests for people to buy on their website. You can find a link in WMNF.org. For WMNF News, I'm Juanita Hurtado-Huerfano.
The father of a man serving on the USS Abraham Lincoln has been arrested by immigration authorities. The ship has set a record for uninterrupted time at sea, and its deployment has raised concerns about supply shortages and mental health among sailors. Luis Aviles' arrest by Border Patrol on Saturday in Key West comes as the Trump administration rolls back immigration protections for military families. Aviles is a handyman from Nicaragua. He's lived in the U.S. for 19 years. The Department of Homeland Security says he will remain in immigration custody. The National Hurricane Center is monitoring a couple areas of tropical weather across the Atlantic. Meteorologist Andrew Wolfeck from the Florida Public Radio Emergency Network says, for now, Florida is in the clear.
Forecasters are currently watching two disturbances across the Atlantic Ocean. One of the tropical disturbances has already made its northerly turn and is heading away from the U.S., but the second area off Africa will be one to monitor. Some forecast models indicate the system could become the first hurricane of the season if it's able to fight off the dry air and wind shear. That's why the National Hurricane Center has given this area at least a 50% chance of organizing into a tropical cyclone. But even if it develops, it will be no threat to land over the next week, as it will remain thousands of miles east of the Caribbean islands.
The next tropical storm will be named Dolly. The average peak of the hurricane season is on September 10th. Today is the 34th anniversary of a major Florida hurricane. On August 24th, 1992, Hurricane Andrew smashed into South Florida. The storm resulted in 65 deaths and caused more than $26 billion in damage across Florida, Louisiana, and the Bahamas. Expect scattered thunderstorms today, especially this afternoon, with highs in the high 80s. Partly cloudy tonight, overnight lows in the high 70s, and partly cloudy tomorrow with highs in the high 80s. I'm Sean Kinane with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.